I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about letting go of the past. Okay, so this is obviously a huge subject, and it can incorporate many different aspects of our life, right? Because we have a past, and our partners that we date all have a past. And our relationships with our caregivers really affected who we are in our relationships today. And it could be a real struggle because many of the things that have happened in our past are unconscious to us today. We don't remember them, or those memories are deep down in our unconscious, in our brain, right? But also, you have to understand that it's those things, those events that took place that made us who we are today, whether good or bad or both. But also, this holds true for our partners, and their past is a part of who they are and who they have become. So, today I want to be talking about it in regards to your partner and your relationship with your partner. Because when we meet somebody, they have had their entire experiences based on their life events. You don't understand it because you weren't there. And even if you did, you might have had a completely different take on the situation. So, if you're dating somebody that's 25 years old, they have their own 25 years of experience. And believe me, all 25 of those years are important, including and especially the first few. Because if they didn't get the same love and attention and affection that you did, maybe they got more, maybe they got less, we're not going to understand each other that well. And so, one of the struggles is accepting our partner for who they are. We very often want to make them who we want them to be instead of who they are. Now, when we do that, it causes a lot of problems and tension between us. Because it's like saying, I like you, but I don't want you to be like you. I want you to be like I want you to be. And if you could imagine, think about how that would feel if your partner said that to you. And of course, they unconsciously did those behaviors too. But think about it. When they said, well, I don't like you because you like this or this particular hobby or interest or maybe political view or whatever it is. If you're not accepting and they're not accepting, what we often do is become negative and we try and negate the other person. We try and bully them, right? So and it may be in our unconscious that we don't realize we're doing it, but we're trying to change them to get them to be who we want them to be. And this is a real problem because who your partner is when they get into this relationship is who they are. And those experiences help them become the person that supposedly you love, right? I mean, if you love this person, shouldn't you say, okay, I love them despite the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, the things that I would never do or accept, and, well, they led you guys to being together. One struggle that I often see for guys is accepting a woman's history, and their sexual history really can affect a guy. So I've got a good email that's going to look at this today and going to show you the irony of this situation. Okay? So this is about a guy who's in his early 20s and the girl is only 19 years old. And they dated for about 6 months. Okay? So here's the interesting thing, okay? I want you to pay attention from how this starts from the get-go. He says, she got my number and called me. We started off hooking up and it was super casual. We had sex on the first time we actually hung out. Okay, so I don't judge. You guys live your life the way you want to live. But let's look at the situation, the reality of it. This girl was very aggressive with him, okay? Not to say that that's not a bad thing, because he obviously didn't complain from the get-go. But she got his number, hooked up with him on the first date. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I want you to see how this plays out and how it winds up coming back and upsets him in their relationship, right? So he was telling me a little about her family, and he said her dad wasn't around much and her mom drinks a lot. Her friends all left in high school, so she spent the second half of her high school career hanging out with her sister and her sister's friend. She had a terrible relationship and experience with relationships in the past, so she has a hard time committing. Okay, now what he doesn't understand is that this goes far past the last maybe 2 or 3 years of her dating life. This is about her relationship with her caregivers, right? Dad wasn't around, mom may have been an alcoholic, a lot going on there, right? So, this is where it gets interesting. I was being jealous and controlling and manipulative. I also did not respect her past. She slept with quite a few guys right when she got into college. Okay, so look at this. He's getting upset, jealous, controlling, and manipulative over the fact that she was sleeping with guys, yet he didn't have a problem when it was in regards to him. It's the same thing, okay? She slept around, that's her business, with people in her past, but then it was okay when it was with him and her, but now he's mad that she did it prior to him. Yet, if she didn't do it prior to him, I'm sure she wouldn't have done it with him as well. So, it's interesting. Watch how this plays out. He said, when she broke up with him, I handled it terribly. I cried and begged for her back on my hands and knees. I don't hear too many people often getting on their hands and knees begging. That's pretty rough. Called all her friends multiple times. Apologized a few days later and then proceeded to text her and her friends again begging. They all blocked my number and blocked me on social media. I think she has unblocked me now. How do you know? Obviously, you're not respecting her decision here, and you're basically harassing her at this point. So he said the two biggest problems in their relationship was his jealousy and controlling and not respecting her past. He says, we first started hanging out very casually because I knew I was graduating and she was starting college, so we just both wanted to have some fun. Then I fell in love with her. I kept asking her to be exclusive, but she said she didn't want a relationship right now. And I'm willing to bet he was probably pushing this subject because of his anxiety. She said she has never wanted to have kids or get married. I think she definitely would, though. Remember, this girl is 19 years old. She's 19. Okay? Why would she be thinking about marriage and kids at such a young age? Not many people want to get married at that age, okay? And typically, when people get married that young, it doesn't last, right? Because you haven't had a chance to really grow up and find yourself. Now, sometimes it lasts. I know a couple people that it has, but it's not the norm, right? It's not the norm to last. So I kept hanging out with her and taking her on dates, and eventually she fell in love with me and we became exclusive. I treated her amazingly. I won't go into details, but I would be surprised if there was another guy who ever treated a girl as well as I treated her. And I suspect that that's probably more in his head than he really believes. And I would be willing to bet that if I really looked at this with him, he's probably a nice guy. You know, where somebody is overly nice because they're doing it in a manipulative way. In other words, they're not being an authentic partner and saying, this is my needs, this is what I want from you, and it's like mutual. It's more of, I'm going to do all these wonderful, nice things for you so you can't possibly leave me. And many people will do this where you are too nice, right? You got to be nice to yourself first, right? Of course, when you have children, it can be very different. But as you know, we have to put ourselves first as an adult. But when we have an anxious attachment style, oftentimes we are overly nice, but it's a form of manipulation. So, he says there were two problems. Her past kept bugging me. She slept with a lot of guys at first. But it didn't bother you when she slept with you at first. And I was jealous of her best friend, guy. Well, sometimes there are best friends that are in the picture, and our gut tells us there's something more going on there, and a lot of times we are right. We got into 2 huge arguments over her past, and her going to a party, and many other small arguments about her best friend. So you didn't trust this girl. Whether it was something she did, or it relates to your issues in your past, but you didn't trust her. After the first argument, everything was amazing. Even better than before. I doubt that. It may have gotten, or felt like it got good, but a lot of times after an argument, things seem like they're better, and then all of a sudden, boom, the relationship ends, and it's always a shock. I talked to somebody just a couple days ago that was telling me that same thing happened to him. After the first argument, everything was amazing, even better than before. But after the second one, she said things changed. We dated for another week, and then she broke up with me, said she still loved me, but was not in love with me anymore, and would miss me. Meanwhile, she would be hanging out and texting her best friend all throughout our relationship. One time, she told me she got jealous when he was not giving her attention and canceled plans on me because she was so upset about it. Well, I wouldn't have liked that either. Would you like your partner to cancel plans with you because they're upset that their quote-unquote best friend cancels on them and wasn't giving them attention? That would bother me too. Because I'm thinking, wait a minute, you're more upset about that and you can't spend time with me now? That's a red flag. She kept telling me there's nothing to worry about and he's just a friend. You might want to go watch my video, She Says He's Just a Friend. I just did that one a couple weeks ago. But 2 weeks after we broke up, she posts a picture kissing him. You know, a lot of times this is a tricky subject. They're just a friend. Because sometimes they really are just a friend, and sometimes that person is doing sneaky, manipulative things behind our back. And it could be a real struggle to know the difference. I guess you have to really look at their behavior and see if it lines up, right? I texted her a few weeks back, but got no reply. My friend ran into her at a party last week, and she asked how I was doing. He told her, I still miss her a lot, but I'm doing well at my job. Well, you can thank your friend for putting some information out there that you did not want her to know. Because I wouldn't want my ex to know that I still miss them a lot when they most likely left me for somebody else. Then she started tearing up and saying she misses me so much, but wouldn't give an explanation as to why she wouldn't text me. I think we know what that explanation is, right? When he said, aren't you dating that other guy? She said, kind of, I don't know. Kind of, I don't know. Kind of means yes, okay? And I don't know means what? How do you not know if you're dating somebody or not? Obviously, there's a romantic interest. You know that much. Maybe you're not officially dating or have a label on it, but there's a lot more than just a best friend going on right now, right? It's more than platonic. Then she told him she would talk to me in the future. Just the other day, she posted another picture with him saying how happy they are. You know that had to kill him. All of her friends love him, and they are in one big friend group. But I don't think he's right for her, and I'm confused as to why she likes him. Well, obviously, you're not thinking too clear right now. You're, of course, going to think he's not right for her, and who knows why she likes him. I mean, they had that friendship going on. There may have been an attraction going on all along. I don't know the details. He didn't give me the details about that. Now she's going out of town for the summer. She never posted any pictures with me throughout our relationship. There's a red flag right there, right? I know she did love me, though. I know we did not date for very long, but I truly believe that she is the one. Okay, man. She's 19 years old, you're in your early 20s, and you only dated for 6 months. Yet you know that she's the one. That is a story you're telling yourself, and it's hurting you. Okay? When you tell yourself this person is the one, after especially such a short amount of time, you're only hurting yourself with that belief. My plan was to wait a year until she grows up a little bit to try again. She is just a freshman. However, this new guy has me worried they will be together for a while. I only have 3 years to win her back before she moves away forever. Okay. I only have 3 years to win her back. 3 years. First of all, you have got to really evaluate this situation more clearly. I understand you were attached and you had a lot of good times with her and you really love her and care about her. 3 years is an incredibly long time to think that you're going to pursue and chase after somebody when they're saying they don't want you in their life. She's dating somebody new. You cannot have this mindset. And if you do, you're only going to hurt yourself and destroy your life for the next 3 years. You are young. Go out and enjoy yourself, okay? Have fun and see where this goes in the future. But you got to understand, you definitely don't want to be putting your life on hold for 3 years or think that you're going to spend 3 years trying to win this woman back. It's simply not going to work. That's not how people operate, okay? She made her decision. You don't even know the extent of the betrayal here. I mean, she may have been, sending flirty text messages or worse to this guy while you were together with her. You don't know how faithful or unfaithful she may have been during your relationship. Because she said to you, oh, we're just friends, we're just friends. Then a few weeks later, they're posting pictures together kissing. Come on, man. You can't ignore these red flags. You got to leave this woman alone, and you've got to really learn about relationships and grow. And I suspect you have an anxious attachment style, so I would really watch my videos on that. But you're really having a hard time moving forward and moving on. And that tells me, as a therapist, that there has been a lot of loss in your early childhood, and it's really, really difficult for you to move forward. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody say they would wait 3 years or try and win somebody back for 3 years. Especially at your age, man. You can't think that a 19-year-old girl is going to be thinking about marriage and kids right now, and that probably scared her and turned her off when you were bringing it up, right? So If I'm you, I'm focusing on myself, focusing on going out, having a good time, moving forward, really looking at this relationship and what you may have done wrong or that you can do to improve in your future relationships, okay? So you got a lot to think about here, but I definitely would not recommend putting your life on hold for 3 years. Please don't do that. You got to put yourself first in this situation and find out and figure out what's healthiest for you. Remember to subscribe to the channel. I always forget to ask you guys to do that. Oh, and I am on Twitter now. Just search for Ask Craig Kenneth on Twitter. I'm going to be posting stuff on there, like if there's a new video coming out, or maybe try and answer some questions here and there. And I'm going to put announcements on there. I do have a few cool announcements coming up soon. If you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching, I do Skype coaching, and if you got to get with me right away, I do offer emergency Skype coaching. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.
Hi, I'm Coach Margaret, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist with 35 years experience. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me to get professional help on your situation. Go to askcraig.net to sign up for a personal coaching with me.